Hey, what's up everyone? This is Brad, back again for my second video. It's been I'm in this chair, and if you just heard that squeak, sorry. I noticed with the last video when I was editing it, because I'm in my recliner and it's old, so it squeaks. I'll try not to do that this time. But yeah, it's been a couple of days since I rambled on about Kingdom Hearts. I still have the same opinions about it. It's probably gonna be my game of the year for 2019. But I'm back here to talk a little bit about WWE. I mentioned in that video that I wanted to cover a little bit of wrestling on here, and I thought about doing like a Raw SmackDown recap, but I figure for my first one I'm gonna do this predictions video for Elimination Chamber this Sunday. I unfortunately think that this is going to be just a mid-tier pay-per-view. This and Fastlane are the pay-per-views in between now and WrestleMania. I hope I'm wrong on that, because there are some matches on this card that are good matches, but a lot of them have zero build. Some of these probably are going to have predictable finishes, even though I'm not going to predict predictable when it comes to a particular match. But we'll get to that. So, I wanted to go to WWE's official page here, and from what I'm hearing, that this match has been confirmed for the pre-show, so we'll just start with this match, and that's the Cruiserweight Championship match. Buddy Murphy is taking on Akira Tozawa, and I posted my predictions for the Royal Rumble on Instagram last month. Yeah, that was last month, right? Yes, because today's February. Yeah, Royal Rumble was last month. Oh my god, my days are just melding together. Days into weeks into months into years. Like, what are we doing with our lives? I thought Buddy Murphy might lose it then, because it was a fatal four-way match, and I was wrong. It was a good match though. So since he didn't lose it at a major pay-per-view, I can't really see him losing it here. I do think it's unfortunate that this match is on the pre-show, and a match later on in the card is probably going to be on the main show. Even though that match technically has bigger names attached to it, this is for a championship, and this is probably going to be a match that's more fun. And I get why they put a match like this in the pre-show, because they air the pre-show for free on YouTube, and I don't know if they do it on Facebook and Twitter or not. I think they do. I think that they air the whole pre-show for free on everything, pretty much. And I guess they want to put a match like this on that they know is going to be quality, so people will subscribe to the network. And it makes sense, but it's unfortunate that the Cruiserweight match is hardly ever on the main card. But like I said, I don't think Buddy Murphy's losing this belt anytime soon. Maybe at Mania. I don't know who would lose it to at Mania, unless someone comes up that's not on the card right now for 205 Live, but we'll see. I do think this is going to be a fun match, but I ultimately think Buddy Murphy is going to win this match. So next, let's go with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. We have the quote-unquote best tag team in the world, with The Miz and Shane McMahon, who are the current champions, taking on the Usos. Man, I really like The Miz, and I have nothing against Shane McMahon, but the fact that a McMahon has a championship belt in 2019 just bothers me. They're entertaining, and that's the whole point, is for entertainment. I get that, but boy, I think that an interesting thing about this match will be that the Usos' their contract is up in April, and they have not re-signed yet. Because they're AEW, for those of you who aren't aware, AEW is a new wrestling organization that is formed up with Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega, and they're signing. They've signed a bunch of people already, like Chris Jericho. I think Neville is going to be on there, Pentagon Jr. from Impact, and of course, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. So it's rumored every time that a WWE superstar or a tag team has it re-up their contracts, AEW comes up. So of course the Usos there's rumors that they might be interested in going to AEW if something doesn't change. So I do think that might factor into this match, but you never know. You just never know. Man, I really want the Usos to win this match, but I don't know that they're going to, because the main story with Miz and Shane right now are these belts. And I mean, there's rumors about them possibly turning on each other and having a match at Mania. I would prefer that. I guess I would prefer that. I would rather the Miz be in hunt for the WWE Championship. Not even the US Championship, which, by the way, the US Championship's not even on this card. So that shows how much they care about that belt at the moment. I'm going to pick The Miz and Shane to retain, even though that's not what I want. That's what I think is going to happen. And maybe there'll be some friction with them, and maybe they'll lose them at Fastlane, or maybe they're going to have a breakdown at Mania. I don't know. Or this is going to just be a thing for a while. This could be a thing going into SummerSlam. I don't really know. But they won these at the Royal Rumble. I can't see them only having them for a month. So, through whatever means, I think that the Miz and Shane McMahon they're gonna win this match, unfortunately. It's unfortunate for me. I get that Shane's popular, because he is. He gets cheered like crazy. When they won that match, there was a big pop. Okay. So next we're going to do, this is the match that I think should be on the pre-show, but apparently it's not going to be. And that's Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match. And, if you watch the product, this is like the 117,000th time that we have seen these two. And it's just, I don't understand why this match is on the card. Just make one of the Elimination Chamber matches longer. Put the Cruiserweight match on the main card and put this on the pre-show. This is a nothing match, or I think it's a nothing match. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, all the sense in the world, that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are going to be involved in this match one way or the other. Or, of course, Finn Balor's in a match later on, and so is Bobby Lashley, but that match could technically happen before this one, and they could interfere in it. I really don't know. I think that Baron Corbin's going to win. I guess. Yeah. Sure, yeah. I'll go Baron Corbin wins, and it's because of Drew McIntyre. They'll team up to do something, and Baron Corbin will end up getting a win one way or another. I honestly don't care about this match. I hope I'm wrong about it. I hope it's a fun match. I hope it's good. I never want anything on these shows to be bad and unwatchable, but I'm just so unbelievably uninterested in this match. Okay, so after that, let's go on to the weirdest match on the card, in my opinion, is a handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley, who is the champion, and he's supposed to be his manager, but he's started wrestling a lot more now, because he wrestles on 205 Live, Lio Rush versus Finn Balor in a handicap match. I have no idea why this is a handicap match. It just got announced to be a handicap match. This wasn't a McMahon's doing. This wasn't Finn Balor lost, and Bobby Lashley won something, so it's a handicap match. It's just a handicap match. So, unless there's some outside interference or something, I imagine Bobby Lashley's going to win this match. Probably not. It won't be a squash match or anything, but I think it'll be fine, because Finn's good, and when Bobby is allowed to wrestle, he's good. And even when he's in crap gimmick things, like with the Sami Zayn with the sisters thing, the match they had at that pay-per-view, that blow-off, was actually a pretty good match. So I do think this will be a solid match. I just have no idea why it's a handicap match. And honestly, at this point, I think I would rather see Leo Rush take on Finn Balor, because we saw that match on Raw a few weeks ago, and it was actually a fun match because they counter. They're both high flyers, so they can do a bunch of crazy stuff in the ring. So I don't know. I don't know why this is a handicap match, like I keep saying, but I'm assuming that means that Bobby Lashley is going to retain and will do something with this belt at Mania. I could see this being these two, maybe even this being a singles match for Mania, or maybe adding a third person. It seems like they always have a triple threat for this Intercontinental belt at Mania. I don't know why that always happens. It always seems to be a multi-person match for this belt when it comes to WrestleMania, but seems to be the case. So, yeah, I got Bobby Lashley winning. Again, so confused as to why it's a handicap match. Okay. Next up, this is so unfortunate. I'm so glad that this match is happening, because I have wanted this match for a while, but this match literally got announced on Twitter, and that's Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, defending her title against Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott is so good. She was so good in NXT, and she has been so good on the main roster. They didn't even have any interaction with each other on Raw this past week. They were both on the show. Like, Ruby Riott had a match, and the Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey backstage segment literally interrupted the Ruby Riott Nikki Cross match and went full screen on while the match was going on. That was the only time we saw both of these people on the same screen on Monday Night Raw. So there's been zero build-up for this. At this point, I don't really know why this is a match. Like I said, I'm glad it is, because I want Ruby Riott to get these opportunities, but not like this. I mean, Ronda Rousey's going to win. Like, that's blatantly obvious. I would love it if Ruby Riott won, because they could do this triple threat Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch thing at Mania without a belt. They're big enough names at this point that you don't have to have the belt on one of them. Probably Ronda Rousey going into Mania for that to be the main event. I mean, it always helps when the belt's on the line, but I want Ruby Riott to win this match. I really do. And I'll get to why later. Like, a big reason why later. But I think that there is just a 0% chance of this happening. I just hope it's a good match. I have a feeling it's not going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be just a thrown together thing, but I really hope I'm wrong, because I want Ruby Riott to look strong coming out of this match. I don't want her to be taken as a joke, because she's absolutely not. So, I got Ronda Rousey winning. I could see this being like a 5-minute thing. I just hope it's solid. Ronda Rousey seems to be having solid matches lately. Even her match with Bayley on Raw a few weeks ago, where there was a lot of botches, it was still a good match. And that was a thrown together thing. So, yeah. So now we have the 2 Elimination Chamber matches left. And I am going to... On WWE.com, they have the WWE Championship match as the top match. But I'm going to assume that this women's tag team title match is the main event. Now, I don't know. So I'm going to go with the WWE Championship match next. So this is a traditional Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. So that's Daniel Bryan, he's the champion, versus Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, and Randy Orton, who will enter the chamber last because he won the gauntlet match. And of course, Kofi Kingston was entered into the gauntlet match this past week on SmackDown because Mustafa Ali is unfortunately injured. Which could ultimately end up being a good thing, because we could get like a Daniel Bryan Mustafa Ali match for Mania. I'm hoping that's the direction they're going, because they really seem to be high on him, and I think everyone that's a wrestling fan is. So I would love a Daniel Bryan Mustafa Ali match for Mania. And by me saying that, I pretty much just gave away who I think is going to win this match. They literally just made a new championship belt for Daniel Bryan a few weeks ago. There is 0% chance he's losing this match, just like the Ronda Rousey match. The drama in these two matches is going to be the actual match itself, which I think this match is going to be really good. Anytime you get like Samoa Joe in a match like this, it's always fun, and same with Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. I hope that Randy Orton isn't just kind of there just to be there. I have a feeling he might be. And I hope that they utilize Kofi Kingston a lot because of what he did. He lasted over an hour in the Gauntlet match on Tuesday night, so I really hope that it's not just a complete squash when he gets in the match and Daniel Bryan is super pissed at him or something and then just, beats him in a couple of minutes kind of thing. Yeah. I don't think there's any way Daniel Bryan loses this match. And I think it'll be fun. I hope it's fun. These type of matches, even when they're kind of boring, tend to be fun just because you don't know who's going to come in and win except for the person who comes in last. Which, strategically, if this was like a real thing, I would totally understand, we want to have a stipulation where someone comes in last. But it kind of, leads to not too much drama when you know who's coming in last. They've done it the past couple of years, so this isn't a new thing. But I'm really hoping that the final two in this match is Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. I have a feeling it's going to be Daniel Bryan and AJ. I would be good with Daniel Bryan and Kofi or Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe, because there's rumors going around that there's going to be a triple threat with Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles at Fastlane next month. I don't know how true that is. You never know with stuff like that, with it being leaked that early, but the Royal Rumble match between Becky and Asuka was talked about a month and a half or so before that match was actually scheduled, and this kind of got leaked in the same manner, so yeah. I just want Kofi Kingston to look really strong in this match after that Gauntlet match. I just don't want him to be taken as a joke. I don't think he will be. I think this is going to be a really fun match. But ultimately, yeah, I think Daniel Bryan's going to win. And we might see some Rowan in there. And I've heard that Luke Harper is cleared to come back. So maybe we'll see Luke Harper come back. If Luke Harper does come back, I could see this being the main event. Because that's pretty big. People really like Luke Harper. So, we'll see. Now, what I think is going to be the main event, what I think should be the main event, is the first ever Women's Tag Team Championship match. So this is going to crown the inaugural champions. And we have, entering into the match first, because they lost the match on Raw, is Sasha Banks and Bayley. And who's joining them first in the ring, because they lost their match on SmackDown, is Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Then we have Nia Jax and Tamina. We have the Iconics. We have the thrown together team of Carmella and Naomi. And we have the other two members of the Riot Squad, Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. Now, the popular opinion and the thing that makes the most sense is for Sasha Banks and Bayley to win this match. I 100% get where people's coming from with that. My only issue with that, and if they win, that's cool, that's fine. They both deserve it because they've been in this business so long, and for the past couple of years, they have just been shunned as far as the championship goes. Ever since Ronda Rousey's come on the scene, they've just kind of been back burners to a very mediocre story without any payoff. So I get why they would be the favorite to win, but to me, if you're going to crown the inaugural women's tag team championships, I think it should be an established tag team. So I think it should either be the Iconics, the Riot Squad, or Mandy and Sonya. I'm picking the Riot Squad. I know that's not a popular thing, and I know that more than likely, they might be the first eliminated in this match. I totally get that. But, and I'm going with my heart on this, not my head. I really think the Riot Squad deserves that, because neither of them were ever in contention hardly for an NXT belt. I want to say Liv Morgan was in a number one contender match. I don't think she was ever in an NXT championship match, though, when she was at NXT. Peyton Royce was in an NXT championship match, and I think Billie Kay was in one as well at some point. I would be cool with... Honestly, the only teams that I don't want to win this is Nia Jax, Tamina, and Naomi and Carmella. I really like Carmella and Naomi, but they're just thrown together. And by the way, this is off topic a little bit. On WWE.com, if you look at the official picture of this, they have that god-awful picture, photoshopped picture of Carmella on there that looks nothing like her. They have to be using that as a troll thing at this point, because even she's pointed out on Twitter like a month or so ago when this thing popped up, it looks nothing like her. It looks like someone just took like a Adobe Photoshop or something and smeared her face. It looks so bad. And I have no idea why they continue to use this stupid stock photo of her that looks nothing like her. It has to be on purpose at this point. I mean, what does it take? 2 seconds to take a new picture of her? Because she doesn't have the blonde hair anymore? Well, she hasn't had the blonde hair in like a year. So, whatever, though. Preferably, I would like for Sasha, Bayley, and the Riot Squad to be the final two in this match. I mean, what I would actually like would probably be for Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, or the Iconics, to be one of the final two, and then the Riot Squad. Probably if I were booking this, I would want Iconics and Riot Squad to be the final two. But more than likely what's going to happen is it's going to be Nia Jax and Tamina and Sasha Banks and Bayley as the final two. But like I said, I'm picking the Riot Squad to win. I know that that's not a popular opinion about this, and I more than likely am totally going to be wrong on it. I just want them to win. I really want this night to end with all three members of the Riot Squad holding a belt. That is not going to happen, or at least I don't think it's going to happen. I would love for it to. There are things you can do around that triple threat match that doesn't involve Ronda Rousey having that belt. And how awesome would it be for a thrown together match to be Ronda Rousey's first singles loss? Because she's technically had a loss with the tag team match. So she's technically already had a loss. But I think that would be great. I think that would be great going into WrestleMania with the Riot Squad having the big belts of the women's division outside of the SmackDown Women's Championship, which Asuka has. But that's just me. Those are my thoughts about Elimination Chamber. Could totally be wrong about most of them. More than likely I will be. But that's fine. There's nothing on the line here. This is just me at my house rambling into a stupid microphone about wrestling. So, and before I leave, I did mention the SmackDown Women's Championship belt. I want to just have a big negative thing to say about WWE at the moment of, I don't understand why Asuka hasn't been on TV since she beat Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. She literally beat her in the opening match to the Royal Rumble to retain the championship. And Becky Lynch has been everywhere. But we have not seen Asuka, who beat her, to retain her championship. It doesn't make any sense, and it really bothers me. I hope that Asuka just wanted a few weeks off or something. That it's not literally just creative going, nah, we'll wait. We'll wait. But I just think that's a big stain on the current product right now of the past couple of weeks. Because the past couple of weeks have been pretty good. Like, I think that this match, this pay-per-view has some really solid matches. The Elimination Chamber matches are always fun, and now I'm glad we get 2 of them. Because they finally let the women actually compete in these matches, which, thank God, because could you imagine the Attitude Era people being able to compete in these matches? It would have been so great. But I'm so glad that the current roster gets to compete in Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell and Rumbles and Money in the Banks and stuff like that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber. It's this Sunday. Should be fun. Should be fine. I don't know. Whatever. If it's not, blah. WWE Network's $10 a month, so blah. It's $10. But we'll see. So, like I said before, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching this far or listening this far, because it's literally just going to be pictures on the screen. So if you just listen to this in the background, it's kind of how I'm making these videos at the moment until I get better equipment. So hope everyone has a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.